Hello, YouTube. Welcome to Talita's page. God told me to tell it. And today message is going to be, I don't care what it looks like. I don't care how bad the situation may seem. Have hope and have faith and know that your time is coming and things are soon to get better. There has been many a times when I was going through a very tough time, a very tough patch, a very hard storm. But I realized in many of those storms, God has something brighter on the other side. So, like when I got evicted and I was homeless, God had a path for me on the other side. He had a bigger house for me. He had, I ended up getting into a cooking program through the shelter I was in, and I ended up getting a career out of that. I ended up learning the trade and getting a career out of that by me being in the shelter. And they only accepted homeless mothers in that program, in the cooking program. And to this day, I am still working, and I'm sorry, I know I always itch my nose, but I am still working as a cook, as a chef. So I had to go through that storm to get to the brighter side. And that's what we have to realize as people. Hold on. And we have to realize that no matter what it looks like, because nowadays what you look at is not what it seems. So no matter what it looks like, it's not going to be that. God is using that to turn into good. So even if you're going through a storm right now, and I know that it hurts, it sucks going through these things. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to always feel like you're struggling or always feel like things are going wrong. But they're actually putting things in action. Even losing people that you thought weren't good for you. Those things taught you lessons. It's a lesson in everything that you do. So even if it doesn't look like it's going to be a benefit, don't worry. It will be. Even if you have to work a job that's only paying $12, $13, $14 an hour, even though you know you're worth more, you never know what God is trying to do with you through that. So you just have to maintain and keep your faith. That's where faith comes in. Faith is the things that you cannot see. When they're building a house, it starts off with rocks and all this supplies. It starts off from the ground. You can't even see the house. You can't even envision the house. But that's where faith comes in. Faith comes in whereas though you can see that mansion, even though it's not built. But you have to start somewhere. God is starting you somewhere. So you have to be grateful for the small things. You have to be grateful for wherever you're living. Even if you're renting a room right now, you have to be grateful that you have a roof over your head. And then, yes, there will come a bigger place. There will come a mansion. There will come a yacht. There will come bigger things. But you have to be grateful for the small things. God have created small things in your life. And you have to not be distracted and be defeated because there is greater coming. You have to stay on track and know that things will get better. There have been many times where I was going through a storm and I didn't know what was next. Even when I was in foster care, I'm like, Lord, why do I have to be in this? Why do I have to go through this? But I wouldn't be here ministering to you today if I did not go through that. So sometimes, yes, you have to go through the storm. Sometimes, yes, you have to go through things. And people think, oh, because you follow Jesus and oh, because you follow him, that you won't go through things. That's so untrue. You're actually going to go through a lot more because the enemy sees the value in you. He sees the diamond in you. So, of course, he's going to throw things in your way so you can get distracted, so you can move off your path. And things will try to distract you because that's what the enemy do. The enemy will try to distract you. But you have to have a mindset and know the direction that you're going. You have to know that you will not be defeated. You shall not be defeated because things will get better. If you be focused on all the small things, how will you get to the big thing? When people are climbing to the mountaintop, they have to start at the bottom. How do you get to the top? You don't start at the top. You start at the bottom. You have to work your way up. That's how life is. That's how life works. You have to work to get there. Yes, it looks like somebody is given a silver spoon and, oh, they're there faster than we are. But sometimes God have to mold you and work on you to receive the big blessings that are coming your way. Do you not know there are big things coming your way? There are big greatness coming your way. But because you're so upset about the small things, because you're so defeated on the little things, you'll never get ahead to the big things. You'll never move forward to the big things because you're so caught up in looking around and what everyone else have. You don't know what they had to go through to get there. You don't know what they had to go through to get the house that they live in, the car that they get in, the dreams that they live in. And you're asking for these big dreams, but are you really ready? Are you mentally ready? Or are you going to fold? If God give you them blessings today, are you going to fold when they come? You don't know that. You don't know. You think you're ready, but you're probably not. There's probably still some other lessons and some other things that God has to work in you and work through you. God is not a confusing God. He is not an unorganized God. He's not going to give you stuff that you can't handle. He sees things that you cannot see. So you have to be grateful for the small things. Be grateful for those shoes that have holes in it, because those shoes that have holes in it are going to lead you to those nice shoes that are hard to tear up and wear. You have to be grateful for that car that keeps breaking down every other week, because that car is going to get you to that nice luxury car that's going to last for years. You cannot be defeated in this time. This is 2021. It's no time to lack. It's no time to be defeated. It's no time to be stressed out about the little things. You're so worried about what you see in front of you. You're so worried about what you see in front of you, what your eyes can see. But you have to realize there are things that's happening that you cannot see. There's things that God is doing in the spirit realm that you cannot see. But you're not focused. You're not on track. You're not doing the things that God asks you because you're so caught up on the storms and the struggles. Oh, you going through a storm? Oh, you going through a struggle? Who ain't? Who don't go through struggles? Who don't go through stuff? Who don't sometimes need bills to pay? Who don't sometimes lights are off? Who don't sometimes food ain't in the fridge to feed your child? Who don't sometimes have nobody to turn to? Who don't sometimes have a place to lay their head? Who don't sometimes feel depressed and feel like they're going to kill themselves? You ain't special. You can't avoid that. You can't avoid that. Struggles are inevitable. But it's in the bad times that you can realize the good times. It's in the sick times that you can realize you're healing. It's in the defeated times that you can realize your victory. So without the bad times, you will never understand what the good is. You'll never understand what being happy is. So stop being discouraged. Stop being ungrateful. You're being so ungrateful for the little things. You're being so ungrateful because you have one pair of shoes. Thank the Lord you have that one pair of shoes. Thank the Lord. Because in the Bible it says, be faithful over a little and God will give you a lot. He has to see if you're going to be faithful over the little things that he has given you. Are you going to be faithful over that? Or you're going to be ungrateful, wishing that you had more? You'll never get to more because you're so busy worried about the little things instead of taking the next step to get to the next thing. You want more? Go out there and get more. Ain't nobody going to hand it to you. Don't you know this world is not going to hand you nothing? Faith without works is dead. You can have faith all day long, but without having the works and without putting in the hard effort and spending your time on the right things, you will never get to where you need to go. They say never say never. You will never get to where you need to go. You will be 20 years down the line crying about the same ungrateful things that you are being ungrateful for. You're ungrateful because you're at a job doing things that you know that you're valued more for. But God is using that because it's an opportunity, or it's a person in there that you need to meet to excel you to the next level, or it's a person in there that you may need to motivate, or it's a thing in there that is going to wake you up into your destiny. But you're too busy crying. You're too busy defeated. God didn't create us to be weak. He didn't create us to be weak. We are warriors. We are warriors. Stop looking defeated. Stop being stressed. Stop being depressed about every little thing. Stop worrying how you're going to pay the bills. You worrying is not going to get these bills paid. You worrying about what he doing or what she doing. They don't love you. They don't care about you. They just want to use you. They want to use you. They could care less. So all I'm coming here to tell you today is do not be discouraged in the small things. Do not be discouraged in the beginning of things. If you are thinking about running a business, don't be discouraged if you only have one person. You see, I'm on this YouTube ministering to 1 or 2 people, 3 people, or whoever God is calling to this channel. But I'm not going to be discouraged about the little things because I know God has greater. I'm not doing this because I want all these subscribers. I'm doing this because I genuinely want to help someone. I want to help someone move them out of that place that they're in, that hard place, that place of feeling like it's no way out of this. It's no way out of this. Everything around me looks like I'm not going to make it. Everything around me looks like I'll never be anything. Everything around me is showing me that I am worthless. But I choose to look past that because I have faith. I choose to look at the things that I cannot see because I have faith. Because God has called you to greater things, but you can never get to the greater things until you start at the small things. Like I said, when you're going on the top of the Eiffel Tower, you have to start at the bottom. Whoopie-doo. You got to start at the bottom. And you got to take step by step by step by step. Some steps, the higher you go, the harder the steps is going to feel. But when you get to the top, there's a beautiful destination. There's a beautiful view at the top. And that's what's going on in you guys' life. You guys are on the steps. And every time the steps get hard or you get weary or you get tired, you want to start taking a step back. Now you got to reset and start all over again. Now the steps are going to be even harder. Instead of just keep putting one foot instead of the other. Oh, yes, this step is hard, but I'm going to still keep walking up these steps. Because even though I can't see what's at the top of these steps, I have faith that it's something powerful and that it's something bigger at the top. So I'm going to keep on walking in these small beginnings. I'm going to keep on walking in these things that don't look like they're going to be mine. Even when it don't look like it. Even when it don't look like it. You think when artists do their paint, they start with just that one mark, that one stroke, that one color, that one thing. And then they keep on building and building until it becomes a beautiful masterpiece. That's where we are in life. That's where God has called you to. Because even when you get to that big thing that you're asking for, it's still not going to feel like it's enough. Because you're ungrateful. So start being grateful in the small things, because God is going to use that struggle. Mark my words, he's going to use that struggle to push you and accelerate you to do greater things. It was all the trials and the tribulations that I had went through, and there are some to come. It's the reason why I can minister to you today or just give you my story and my testimony. It is those times that is going to make you greater. And he's going to be able to use you to do greater things. And you're going to be able to look at yourself and be like, wow, that's all he was trying to do. And I was so worried and so concerned. Look at all the tests that you have been put through. And you were so worried and so concerned. And he pulled you out of them. Because it's in the small beginnings that you have to be grateful for, that's going to accelerate you and shoot you to the greatness. And keep on walking. Keep walking up them steps. Because there's something powerful on the other side of those steps. On the top of those steps, there's something great. So keep walking, even if it's hard. I know it's hard. Life is hard, man. He never said it would be easy, but the great thing is he is right there with you. Jesus is right there with you. God is watching over you and protecting you every step of the way. So just hang on in there and keep walking up them steps. Even when you don't feel like, even if you got to take a pause on one of those steps and be like, whew, I need a breather before I take that next step. But whatever you do, don't walk back down the steps. You go forward. Even if you have to take a quick pause and take a breath and breathe so you can get to that next step. You do that. But whatever you do, don't go backwards. Keep walking up them steps. And God says that there is greatness. There is abundance. There is wealth on the other side of the steps. But you have to do the work. You have to take it one step at a time, one day at a time, one storm at a time. So be blessed, and I love you, and I pray that you have peace, and I pray that God gives you wisdom. And thank you for watching this video.